Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at Everything You Need to Know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news: economic growth is healthy worldwide. But first up today, the latest dairy auction has brought a good gain of 2.7% overall in US dollars, although the strengthened Kiwi dollar has limited the upside in local currency to 1.5%. Whole milk powder prices also gained less than 1%, and that also restrained the overall outcome. But there was a good bounce back for cheese, which rose 4.6%, and for skim milk powder, which rose 3.6%. In fact, butter prices, which rose just a bit less than 3%, are now at a 6-month high. And despite the minor gain for whole milk powder prices, the new price level is an 11-month high. Volume sold was a modest 19,262 tonnes, but that is the highest in 4 auction events. It is unlikely any payout forecasts will be changed by today's auction, but they aren't under any threat from it either. In the US, new housing starts in March have come in much stronger than expected and are up 10.9% above the same month a year ago. Building permits issued were up 7.5% on the same basis. The real strength is in multi-unit developments. Single-family home starts were only up 1.7%. And in American factories, industrial production was up 4.3% in March from a year ago, although the growth rate slowed to less than half that from February. Capacity utilisation, however, did pick up. China announced its economic growth rate was 6.8% in the quarter ending March, exactly on market expectations and exactly the same as the fourth quarter of 2017. They also said their retail sales grew 10.1%, and that follows a rare 2 months where they were sub 10%. Around the world, economic growth is rising. The IMF reports the global economic upswing that began around mid-2016 has become broader and stronger. They say advanced economies as a group will continue to expand above their potential growth rates this year and next before decelerating, while growth in emerging markets and developing economies will also rise before levelling off. 2018 growth will be a 7-year high, they say. Of course, they also give their obligatory warning about troubles ahead in the future. Led by tech stocks, Wall Street is strongly higher today, with all major indexes up by much more than 1%. And China announced a new reform allowing foreign car makers to set up in the country without local shareholding. It also removed foreign ownership limits for ship and aircraft manufacturing. But China's Commerce Ministry ordered importers of American sorghum to post bonds to pay possible anti-dumping duties, which could be as high as 180%. But China is not moving away from holding its foreign reserves in US treasuries. They increased their holdings in February by $8.5 billion, its biggest purchase in 6 months, and taking them to $1.18 trillion, or 18.7% of all foreign holdings and about 6% of all US foreign debt. In Germany, the influential business confidence survey by ZEW is reporting a sharp fall in confidence triggered by inhibiting of German trade with Russia after the West's reaction to the Syria chemical warfare attack. And in Australia, revelations at their Royal Commission into Financial Services exposing some very dodgy behaviour in their current investigation of AMP. There are likely to be long-term consequences for the whole industry and much tougher penalties as a result. The US Treasury 10-year yield is slipping today and now at 2.81%, that's down 2 basis points. The US 2-10 rate curve is moving lower again. The Chinese 10-year is at 3.68%, that's 4 basis points down, while the New Zealand equivalent is at 2.85%, that's unchanged. Gold is at $1,347 an ounce, and that's also unchanged. Oil prices are slightly firmer today, now just over $66.50 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is just over $71.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is still unchanged this morning at 73.4 US cents. On the cross rates, we're at 94.4 Aussie cents and 59.4 Euro cents. That puts the TWI at 74.4, still anchored at the top of its 2018 range. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.